right, hi friends, it's Kara with Power to the Flower. I am out here after 5 fevery days of my son being sick inside, and I am just bursting at the seams. I gotta get outside. So I've just been doing some trimming and cutting, and I thought I would show you some interesting things around my landscape that I'm learning as we go along. So we moved to the Bay Area in Northern California over a year ago, and this is zone 9. And it is crazy because it is middle of December and all of my bulbs are starting to come up. And I feel like when I lived in Boston, Massachusetts, I used to pray, "Dear Lord, please give me a flower for my birthday." So I used to want to see a daffodil or one of those early spring bulbs coming up in April, and now it's December and they're starting to come. So let me just show you what I'm talking about, because this kind of makes gardening a little bit confusing, I find here. You can see my kids are running around. Oh, and here they are. Yes, I'm videoing. It makes it slightly confusing because it's not obvious, like here are the seasons. They really overlap. So we went kind of from hot summer all the way through November to crazy rain over the last couple weeks. And now it's maybe mid 50s. Let's see, what's the temperature? Yep, mid 50s. The low is mid 40s. I am realizing that a lot of plants need pruning for like spring pruning, because they're starting to bud out and it's not even the new year yet. So I'm concerned, like, is it gonna get cold and then they're going to frost? But based on our zone 9 temperatures and my experience over the last winter and talking to other gardeners in the area, it almost never gets down to 30 degrees or colder. And a lot of people do pruning if they're not concerned about the temperatures dropping below 25. And it almost never gets to 25 here. So I kind of feel like I'm safe. So I'm gonna do some stuff, show you, and then we'll see what happens. It's like a little experiment here in my yard. So let me show you what's going on. Look at this croton, still loving its life, and also these ornamental chilies are going strong. And then we have these impatiens, which are blooming and yet losing their leaves. This Jade Plant is doing amazing. It's middle of December, so we have our cyclamen, which is doing great, but we still have our fall foliage. See these impatiens that I have, these red impatiens, and I was gonna come through here and cut them all out, and then I realized, oh my word, they're still budding. Look at that. There are tons of little buds on these still. So I'm actually not gonna do anything. We had a big rainstorm over the last week, and that's what they started to flop over like this. So I just kind of cleaned up some of the petals, not even that much, and leaves, and saw all of these buds and thought, I think I'm gonna wait. Okay, and then come over here, look at these pots. I buried some bulbs in here before I planted this cyclamen. I also have some underneath this, these pine cones, and you can see they're starting to come up. Can you see? Oh dear, can you see? Here's one, and here's another. I don't even remember what I planted. I think, and here's one. I think there's definitely daffodils in here, but also some other things. But then we still have like our fall stuff, you know? It's so much overlapping. My mind's going crazy. Okay, what else is happening? Oh yeah, look at these. Here come my bearded irises. But then I still have my oak leaf hydrangea, which is turning colors and hasn't even dropped its leaves yet. So it's just a big mix over here in zone 9. Here's my buddleia or butterfly bush. I have a big one right here that the previous owners planted, and then I planted the little one next to it. So I'm going to trim this down. You can see, maybe on a different day, you can see the buds are already coming out. Do you see? Some of them are quite big. All of this is new foliage. So I feel like I gotta get on this so that we can have some nice blooms for next year, because this old one blooms on old wood, not new wood. So I don't know, it might be even too late. We'll have to see. What were some other funny things that I was finding around the garden? Oh, I need to show you my aeoniums. Remember I cut those for a project? And this is the final one. These are all the cuttings that I didn't use. I either trimmed them or didn't use these ones. You can see they go a little sad. This is the transition period that can happen. Although you can see that one is doing just fine. So it just depends. Don't give up on them. They will come back to life. It might take a couple weeks, but they will surely come back to life. And all of these stems will grow new plants as well. Isn't that amazing? And then I just started putting them in around the garden. This one hasn't started to bud yet, but you can see this one's doing great. And I have one over here, actually 1, 2, 3 over here. And then you'll laugh because these ones over here are, I didn't even put them in the ground. I just pulled them out of the pot and stuck them there. And look, you have new buds. Here's some beautifuls coming, but then you have new ones down there popping out from the old cuts. So we'll have new ones popping out of these old cuts soon. I also just kind of jam that into the ground. I mean, aeoniums are amazing. When it comes to aeoniums and succulents in general, they're pretty amazing. Look at this. Here's a jade plant over there, and one of the leaves fell out, so I just stuffed it in here. It's even blooming. I mean, that's incredible. These need a trim, but you can see they're mostly happy in this spot, and I often forget to water them, so I think they're doing pretty darn good. The other thing I wanted to show you is my window box, which I took I'll try and put a picture up so you can see the difference. I took all of the old pumpkins that were in here and I spray painted them gold. Now, I ran out of spray paint while I was doing this project because I didn't know if it was gonna work or not, but I feel like it turned out so nice. It just gives a little bit of gold color right now. These pansies and violas are doing magnificent, and these petunias were just like a 6-pack from Home Depot. They are having a great time with the rain, blooming. I have a wire vine in here. You can see where my spray paint ran out right there on that orange one, but from far away, kind of looks fine. The fern here, which replaced the, I think it was Rebecca that I had, and it went by the wayside because it's a perennial. So I transferred that, and then look at this cute one. So that was just like a fun little project that I wanted to show you. Reuse your pumpkins. Let me see, let me show you what else is going on. Here's that basket that we made. I love the way these are turning out. Look at those gorgeous succulents. It's getting rain, just straight up rain, as well as there's one there and one there, 2 other succulent projects. I don't think that I videotaped these, but they're also, the trailing string of bananas is amazing. The flowers are happy. They're just getting straight up rained on. So it's also like a little experiment. These ones were getting a lot of sun and not very much water. My son planted this up and it's looking much happier now that it's getting watered regularly, which is hilarious because succulents don't like water, but I think maybe it was behind. Okay, I also thought it would be cool to have a follow-up on these plants because they're all doing great. Check out these aeoniums. They look awesome. They've come into their own. They're nice and perky. We have some Dichondra Silver Falls, which is still falling over. And the Liatorp is growing new foliage. We have our cabbage. The Impatiens still holding its own. And look at this amazing heuchera. I love that heuchera. It is just so vibrant. And look at this one. This one turned out amazing. I don't know if you remember, but I think it looks so pretty with the aeoniums on the top. And those have grown as well, I think. They are looking really, really big and beautiful. And then the last one were those 2 baby cabbages. This Liator planted it. If you remember, I cut it in half and then planted it. So we have some bits that died. So I need to come and trim those. But in general, I feel like it did really well. You can see there's some perky new foliage, and so it gives me the clue that it's doing great. And those little baby cabbages sure did grow. So overall, I'm really happy with that project. All right, I'm losing light, so I need to go in. But thanks for taking a little walk with me and getting excited about future projects to come in my own landscape, little learning opportunities for all of us. And as well, I have some containers coming up and another landscape project that will be probably, I don't know, in maybe the next month or so, which is very exciting. Finally, if you are interested in Christmas presents or other holiday gifts for people who maybe are hard to buy for, plants are always a great option. Get in touch with me because I would love to make something for you. All right, talk soon. Bye.